Hello, everyone. This is Grim doing a mic check. Let me know. Let me know. Know if you can hear me okay, and we'll get this started. All right. According to Tomato, we got high mic check. All right. I think I'm coming through loud and clear. I'm going to go ahead and click over in about 30 seconds. See you all in just a minute. All right. Hey, everybody. Getting all set up here. How's everybody doing tonight? Can you hear me okay? Is my mic coming in? Hopefully so. I don't have any background audio tonight. Hello, everyone in chat. See all kinds of people. Thanks for coming to hang out. There's Star Jump Ender. Hope you're well. Working, making that money. Hope everybody is doing really well tonight. I am going to be taking a look at ISC. We'll be talking the Syulen, talking ships in general. Had a great conversation. What was it? 2 nights ago with VMXEO. We talked all about the Syulen, the Storm, and the RSI Minor, known as the Arastra. Hopefully, I said that right. So probably talk about those a little bit. Probably talk about some other ships a little bit. I want to talk about the pipeline in general. So be taking questions from all of you. I'll be able to possibly get some people in on voice on our Discord. If you're in our Discord, if you have specific questions, I'll let you know how to do that. I have a kind of IAE 2953 poster giveaway I'm going to do. And it took a little bit to figure it out, but I think I'm going to be able to do one on Twitch and one on YouTube. I think I found out how to do one on YouTube. Well, we're going to try it. We'll see if it works. I'm not 100% sure if it'll work, but we're going to try it. Anyways, how is everybody doing, chat? Are you having a good week? Are you excited for IAE starting tomorrow? Cannot believe it's here already. It's absolutely crazy. Let's see here. I'm going to get a few things set up before we get going. Give you a little bit of information on my plans for IAE. There's a lot of creators out there, our good friends over at Info Runners and our good friends at Soul Citizens and many others who have pretty regular planned content throughout IAE. That's not really possible for us. We have wildly different schedules, and so we're a little bit more reactive. When we can do something, we will do something. I've got a few things planned for IAE though, and planning something kind of cool for the end of IAE. But hopefully over the course of the next, how long is IE? 10 days? Either way, hopefully over the course of the next 10 days or so, it'll be a mix of me and Ender, me and maybe some other guests, VMXEO, whoever else wants to come on, and doing some chatting. You may see me on some other channels here and there, just kind of talking everything, talking ships. Everyone knows I love to talk ships. So yeah, you'll probably see a little bit of me over the next 10 days or so, however long the event is, both here and on other people's streams and shows and stuff like that. I like to circulate. Um, that being said, there was a new ISC release today. And want to watch that. I did watch most of it. And then we had to scrub a little bit at the end. Of course, they always seem to drop ISC episodes when I am out and about. So I was specifically at my daughter's gymnastics class, and they have the worst internet in there. So I couldn't really, I had to watch it, but I had to watch it in 360p or whatever, the horrible resolution. So, anyways, just looking through chat here, we're getting a pretty good crowd in both Twitch and YouTube. Showing 39 in both right now. That's kind of amazing. But yes, again, we're going to probably start with ISC. I will say, I know some questions are coming in asking about the Syulen for Starjump Fleet Viewer. Totally understandable. It's an exciting new ship. Everyone wants to have it in Fleet Viewer and check it out. I can go ahead and tell you, we'll go ahead and start with that and get that out of the way. I'm going to switch over here. Let's see, do I have the right panel? There we go. So we do already have the Syulen prepped for Starjump Fleet Viewer. This is it right here. We are going to have it in Fleet Viewer in both the flight mode and landed mode. However, after watching a little bit of ISC today, there are a few little fixes we need to make to this. Not a huge big deal, like a huge deal, but we do want to make. We want to check to see if we can make a few alterations to the landed mode to just better align with its overall footprint. That's going to require VMXEO to do some measurements and stuff like that. We've actually been, well, I shouldn't say VMXEO of Starjump Fleet Viewer fame has been doing some tests with flight-ready ships versus ship metrics on Spectrum. And what we've actually found is there's a lot of inconsistencies in ship size. So a ship will be listed at, let's say, 16 meters long, but it's actually not 16 meters long in game. It's actually a little bigger, generally bigger. So I think that is what's causing a lot of confusion across the board. And that would most likely affect all fleet viewers, both our fleet viewer, Starship 42, and others. I don't really know if there's a way around it because it's hard to check all that data. But we are finding that there's some inconsistencies with that scaling from the listed measurements to the actual in-game model. Ender says, Starjump Graham, can you at some point check and see if the Storm AA fits in the Carrack? Yeah, we can totally check. It'll just be a width thing. Pretty much if the regular Storm or the Storm AA fits in, it will be able to fit. I know the Storm is as wide as the Nova, so we'll have to check and see. But yeah, we can absolutely test that. Pie versus cake. Yes, the Syulen is quite smaller than the Raylan. The Raylan is a pretty big ship. The Syulen is actually much smaller than you think, and we'll get into that here in a minute. Okay, so yes, this is the Syulen for Starjump Fleet Viewer. It's probably going to have a few adjustments, but coming along really nicely. Of course, we're going to have it represented in Starjump Fleet Viewer. We are going to switch over here. Sergeant Teddy Bear, thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Everyone on Twitch, real quick, again, if you're new to this Twitch channel, please go check out, not right now, but in your own time, Starjump Fleet Viewer. I got the link down there. Go check out our friend Ender, who you will see on streaming with me later on in IAE towards the end when we got more to talk about. As well, please go check out our YouTube channel. I'm trying to get more follows over there on our YouTube channel, trying to start to build that up again. That's a little bit of my fault, not been getting out enough videos, but we're going to change that real soon. And then, of course, please go give us a follow over on Twitter. We got over 2,200 followers over there, which is really great, but that's where a lot of the Starjump news comes out. So please hit up all those links, and you'll be doing me a big favor. All right. So let's go ahead and click over. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to watch the new Inside Star Citizen episode. I know some of you have probably already seen it. It came out a few hours ago. I'm coming in a little bit late to the party, obviously, but you know, a dad's got to do what a dad's got to do. So actually stand by, everybody. Boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Okay, just making sure that is working correctly. Okay. So yes, we're going to watch Inside Star Citizen. I might pause here and there. It's a little bit of a longer episode, but I'm pretty sure it covers the Syulen, the Storm, and what else? What else does it cover? Oh, the Spirit C1. So again, we'll watch it. We'll take things. If you have any questions, put them in brackets so I can hopefully notice it. Sometime later in the show, I will be letting people jump into a chat channel if you want to ask any questions or discuss something ship related for IAE. I will also be, actually, you know what, before we do this, I'm going to open it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start it now. Well, actually, no, we'll start it after the ISC episode, but I've created some fun little posters that are a variant of our standard Fleet Viewer poster. These are the IAE 2953 Special Edition Fleet Viewer posters. I'm only going to do like 3 of these. That's all I'm going to do. Or I'm only going to do 3 giveaways of these. 1 tonight to kick off IAE, 1 during the middle, and then 1 at the end to wrap it all up. I'll give 1 away on Twitch and 1 away on YouTube. Show you what it looks like. It's a little crazy, but that's because the IAE colors are a little crazy. There it is. I'll be giving this away all here in just a little bit. You'll be able to, I'll tell you how to enter. Those of you on Twitch will be doing a stream elements thing. And then the everyone on YouTube, it'll be comment based. Real easy though. And we'll do that right after the ISC. I'll get that set up. As a matter of fact, while ISC is playing up, I can get that set up. I'm using some new software called Comment Picker that allows me to run contests from YouTube comments. So we're gonna give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a minute. Let's see here. Driz Taloth just cheered 5 bits. Thanks, Driz H2. Looking out for you. Thanks, appreciate it. Bearded Guy says, question, can I have that poster, please? You have a chance of winning it, Bearded. You have a good chance of winning it. All right, here we go. We're going to start ISC. I'm going to switch us over to my lovely viewing screen here. We'll go full screen. Let's go ahead and start it. I'm going to turn up the volume. Critical Mass, hello. Hope you're well. All right. All right, here we go.
Syulen. I immediately went over to Ben Curtis and asked him if I could make it.
Where is that?
By myself. Ben Curtis and asked him if I
Michael Oberschneider did the Raylan, and I scouted a lot in his old sketches and the first phase of that ship, and I found a pretty nice triangle sketch, and that's where we started from.
We really wanted to have this feeling of grandeur. It's a relatively small ship, but all its kind of stylings and its shape, language and forms really are there to make it feel strong and impactful. And so we really tried to kind of push that as much as we can.
The Gatac Syulen is Gatac's introduction to the civilian space market with a essentially starter ship from an alien race.
It's kind of really...
I'll go ahead and stop right there. I mean, one of the first things that really strikes me about this, I'm sure you would all agree, is that it's got a pretty incredible texture set. There's a lot of like, almost like stone marble type, you know, texture selections, which are kind of interesting when you think about that, because stone, when you see those stone patterns, you think heavy, you think immovable, but these ships are countering that by being really agile and high tech and stuff. So just kind of an interesting contrast there.
Defining what that manufacturer is for us.
It has everything any player needs to take their first steps in the universe. It can carry cargo.
Wait a minute. Bingo just says, I kind of want one. That's shocking. I don't believe this is a SAR ship, Bingo. You're not allowed to have one, I'm sorry.
It's got onboard living quarters and a good selection of weaponry for a starter to not die immediately when you get out into hostile space.
When the player first sees the Syulen, we really wanted it to feel...
There's that vertical landed position. One of the problems on our version for Fleet Viewer that we did is we actually did not give it quite as wide of a stance when it's in its sitting position. And that's something I do want to fix because obviously the reason we do the landed configurations are so that people can get a good idea of its footprint. So that's something we'll want to fix for Fleet Viewer before we put it in.
Kind of just superimposing. It's got this amazing stance where it's kind of towering above you.
The Syulen is almost this monolithic structure that will appear in your hangar, unlike anything you'll have seen before. It's very dominating, almost Sith-like, dare I say it.
With its vertical design,
you can kind of see there that super wide stance. And to answer your question, Northrend, it's not super hard. I do it from time to time. I do it from time to time on stream, even, you know, just testing, you know, if vehicles will fit in other vehicles. So
its vertical design, it looks completely different to any other starter ship that we've brought out before.
You'll notice it's a very polished ship, very deliberate with all of its forms and shapes, but then when it comes to its mechanical structure, it's not like our manufacturers like Origin, where it's very high-end but exposed almost, more like Drake. So you'll see all the mechanisms, all the inner workings. As you approach the interior of the ship, you'll notice a little button on the side. You press that, and the wall of the exterior will cascade down into a set of stairs.
You'll be greeted by like this crazy Gravlev sort of animation where the sort of wall fractures and spreads out. Something rooted in the Xi'an lore about their trivial use of Gravlev tech, and just to be able to see it like sort of do something crazy that we can't do with most of the ships is really cool.
As you enter the ship, you'll be in what we call the airlock, or the ground floor, kind of like an engineering space. All the walls feel quite clean, quite sleek.
You'll get quite an unusual sense of the place because of the rock materials that you've got going on that feel very alien when you walk onto a spaceship.
All of the walls, the panels, fly out, separate,
so cool,
and reveal these crazy big component bays, an armor locker, and also a really cool weapon rack that pops out the wall using that cool grav tech we spoke about. In between two of those component bays, you'll notice the lift embedded into the floor. It's got a really cool glass floor to it, and you'll notice
that's
a nice
an insult.
hover
Thank you
plate
for that
of
follow.
Xi'an text, which we've kind of
it's a
translated
really
into
good
English
looking
for you.
ship.
We wanted it to feel like it could be inhabited by both Xi'an and human. That was kind of like a design ethos we had. So you'll go on the elevator, which features both.
So once you use the lift to enter the habitation.
Yeah, just to answer your previous question, North End, that would probably be a lot of work. However, I always encourage people, if you have a suggestion for Fleet Viewer, add it to the suggestions list in Discord, in our Discord channel. I always just like to keep them there, even if we don't reply to them, me or Starlet or something. That's okay. I actually add them to a list. I have a local list that I add them to, and I kind of rank them in terms of what I think's priority and what I think's not priority. Some of it we might get to, in a month. Some of it might be, a year before we get to it. But I do record them all, and even if it's something that we can't do, I like to hear the idea, because that might jumpstart a different idea that, the Fleet Viewer team didn't think about. So always really cool to hear that kind of stuff. And, feel free to leave those suggestions. We do have a Fleet Viewer suggestions channel. All right, here we go.
Deck, you'll notice a really nice small space, quite simplistic, but that's kind of like how the Xi'an like it.
The Xi'an are very close to nature. We wanted to create this sort of like cave feeling in a couple of places. That was in the bed, and that's a really nice little area for you to lie down at the end of a journey.
Kind of like a hab almost, like the way it kind of is embedded into the wall. Still comfortable though, I can assure you.
It's a lot warmer, a lot more inviting, yet through its materials it still feels like a bit alien. On your left, you've got a bathroom.
You're talking to Lloyd about the bathroom, right?
The bathroom is, you could say complicated. I would say amazing in terms of design. It's definitely over-engineered.
The first thing you will notice is this silver sink almost on the left-hand side.
Which will serve two purposes if you know a little bit about Xi'an lore. So Xi'an poop a little bit differently to humans, so...
All right. I don't know how Xi'an poop. If anyone in chat, knows how Xi'an poop, I would love to know. Keep it clean. But it's cool that they included that. Therum says mouth, I believe. Oh boy, fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
They use that, we use our toilet. The whole door breaks into a load of pieces. The toilet roll holder sort of assembles itself.
With the most elaborate animation I think that's ever been put into a video game for toilets.
And again, it was just sort of a show of what's trivial to them is like elegance and high-class design to us. It was just a nice little feature. We wanted to incorporate that, sort of how they would live if they were on the ship and how humans would live on the ship.
As you go up into the cockpit, you then have a full open space.
What I like to call the cathedral.
Oh, that's so
cool. The light
cool.
cascades down and you see the seat presented to you almost like an altar. You enter the seat and you float up on your back, almost like you're about to launch into space on a rocket. And this massive mechanism of plates assemble behind you using GravTech to hold your seat in place. Really makes you feel like a badass just before you take off.
One of the best experiences in the ship is when you sit in that pilot seat and it kind of transforms and the ship moves around you to kind of put you up into a position within the canopy. With most of our ships, you sit horizontal to the gravity plane, whereas with this, you're sat on your back, kind of facing straight up to the stars.
The world is a completely different angle and it gives a completely different feel to the ship.
Let's just talk about that for a minute. I mean, those of you that know me, I really like, I'm very partial to industrial ships. And I think part of that is not really just the industrial gameplay loop or ship roll, but I like the industrial design of ships. I like ships feeling heavy and complicated and complex. So because of the complexity, I almost like seeing the parts and pieces and all that. I think that's why Drake appeals to me. I think that's why RSI appeals to me and Crusader appeals to me. Because even though in Argo, some of those, while ships like Origin and I would even say Anvil to some degree, like in the Carrack, some things are a little too hidden away, a little too refined for my personal taste. But so when it comes to alien ships, at least the alien ships we currently have in Star Citizen, and specifically looking at the like Cartual, the Vandal ships even a little bit, but the Talons, but especially the Defender, I like them, but they just sort of, they've always felt a little bit to me like just high-tech human ships, right? They still have a lot of the same orientations, the same layouts and stuff like that. But they have a different skin on them, a slightly more exotic skin, right? And even that's subjective and relative. This is the first, and I really did feel this way with the Gatac Raylan's reveal, and it's why I ended up pledging for a Raylan day one. I've since melted it in buybacks, but I do plan on getting it back out. But when I first saw the Raylan, my initial thought was, okay, that is different. That is wildly different than a typical alien ship, right? And this, I would say, is even more so. Now, I would include the Cartual in this, but the Cartuals never spoke to me from a design standpoint. It just seems a little too, I don't know the word actually I'm looking for that, but it's just never appealed to me from an aesthetics point of view. But this, whether it's landed, whether it's in fly, whether you're on the interior or exterior, you're always reminded that you're in an alien ship, right? Like none of it feels just standardized. It doesn't feel like you're in a human ship, or it doesn't feel like on the outside it looks alien, but then as soon as you walk interior, it's mostly just a human ship at this point with an exotic skin. This ship looks like in every conceivable whether it's interior, exterior, no matter how you're experiencing it, it's going to feel alien, which to me is cool. And I think it's why Gatac appeals to me so much. Again, really like the Raylan, really interested in this ship. My only big concern with this one though is how you land this damn thing. Logar, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do not know how landing this is going to be without challenge.
For the art team, the vertical takeoff was great. It was one of the things that we were like super keen on getting in from the very start. It may have caused a few headaches for some of the other departments that we work with. There was quite a few people that kind of doubted whether or not it was going to function. But visually, it gives such a nice kind of silhouette to the ship.
I like the fact that we were applying very traditional technology in space exploration to something so advanced.
Thank you for all the first-time chatters,
one of
by
those
the way.
things, the first time you take off in it, your brain has to do a bit of recalibration compared to every other ship in the game.
If you look at the stars, you will see them going from up to down and not from left to right.
Fundamentally, you still fly in the direction you're pointing. It's just that you land and take off essentially 90 degrees to what you are adjusted to. If you throttle forwards, you go up. But that's the direction the ship is pointed.
Obviously, Xi'an used GravTech quite a lot, and we wanted to make sure we leveraged that as much as possible. However, for things such as wings and thrusters, I think it's really important that we keep that to a minimum. If something's heavy, like we can't rely on gravity to keep it on.
It has probably the most amount of maneuvering thrusters, I think, of a ship of this size, 24. That is simply to make it one of the most agile starter ships in the game and to cover the required maneuvering angles on a ship when it transforms. So once you've taken off and you retract the landing gear, the ship transforms slightly into a more expanded state. The three main thrusters change angle, the wings change angle, and then this requires the maneuvering thrusters to sort of compensate for that. So the amount of thrusters the ship has allows it to be pretty agile regardless of state, regardless of atmosphere or space.
Oh, I prefer the vertical takeoff compared to the normal. It's just a completely different feel and you can land in tighter spaces.
My favourite part of the ship is definitely the way it transforms out of landing mode into deployed. All of the wings fold back, so the landing gear is actually built into the edges of each of the wings. At night, it's even cooler. All of the headlights move around because they're all animated on part of the wing, and so does the light pop out of the end of the landing gear, which lights up those big pieces.
Landing it requires a little bit of adjustment compared to traditional flight in Star Citizen. You deploy your landing gear as you would, the ship transforms, the landing gear comes down. But instead of landing on your belly, you essentially land on your behind.
It kind of gives the nod back to some of our classic kind of modern day space shuttles, but it kind of gives a real unique experience on takeoff and landing.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, but the payoff is just
but
the way the ship flies and the silhouette of it and just the unique feeling, making it feel really alien compared to our other ships.
So being the first ship from the manufacturer Gatac that people were going to see in game, for me it was really important that it had a real impact on the player.
Captain Cumulus, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh, that's a cool comment. Appreciate it.
I think players will appreciate the fact of how much we've managed to fit into such a small platform.
So the Syulen is pitched
Lead
as a
Admiral
starter
Pepper,
ship,
thank
but
you
it
for the
sort of
follow.
goes
Appreciate
beyond some of our other starter ships. It has a lot of onboard living, so it allows you to do a little bit of exploration, a little bit of pathfinding. It's not as good as dedicated explorers or pathfinders, but it is sort of better than other starters in that regard. The big unique factor of the Syulen is simply the visual style, being an alien ship.
I think we've not had very many opportunities to really show off what we can do with our alien races yet, and so this for us was a real opportunity to really distinguish that ship from our more human manufacturers.
The overall feel of the ship is far, far different to any other that came before it.
We tried to build a bit of mystery on how this thing works. It was quite exciting to try something different from the usual way we did spaceships.
The concept is completely striking, unlike anything I'd seen. Obviously, being a fan of vehicles full stop, regardless of whether they're a spaceship, ground vehicle, real or fictional, seeing this was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before, and I was desperate to be part of the construction of it.
Compared to our other starter ships, this is something entirely different, both flight and visual, and that sort of sets it apart from the others. If you just don't want to be run-of-the-mill Star Citizen player, then the Syulen is for you.
Looks like they're going into the Crusader Spirit C1. What's everyone's thoughts on the Syulen? Obviously, new starter ship, they said it, but it's kind of a starter ship plus, right? A little bit of a starter ship plus, so a little bit different. Insta-buy. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing across the board from everyone. Riddick, hello, hope you're well, man. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hearing across the board. Everyone wants this ship. I think the Gatac stuff in general is just really, really, really cool, and it's going to be a big money maker day one of Stars or day one of IAE. I don't think there's any doubts there. Real quick, everyone, I wanted to check something here, so bear with me 1 second. Can anyone check, are you allowed to leave comments? Are you allowed to leave comments on a live stream on YouTube? Is that possible? I thought it was possible. It may not be possible though. I know you used to be able to. Can any of my YouTube people? No, just chat. Okay, interesting. They must have removed that because you used to could do it. Nope. Okay, cool. That's okay. I have another path forward for that. So stand by. I am going to. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I got to solve for that. Okay. I got a plan. Okay. Real quick, before I go too much further, I'm going to start the contest. Let me switch back over. I'm going to start the contest. It's going to run for the rest of the stream. We'll do the giveaway at the very end. But this contest will be for this poster here. There we go. This poster here, the IAE 2953 Fleet Viewer poster. I possibly will update some of those ships in there with maybe 1 or 2 of the new ones that is revealed at IAE as well. So maybe throw in the Arastra, the Syulen. We'll see, although the Syulen be pretty small. These are some massive capitals. Yes, I will go ahead and start that. So bear with me. Now, it's going to be a little different for both of you, for both groups, both Twitch and YouTube. Now, if you're on Twitch, all you have to do is do exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max, and you can get in on the poster giveaway. Let me know if that is working. The giveaway should have started though. Let's see here. Okay, yep, looks like people on Twitch are able to buy tickets there. Now that's for Twitch. For YouTube, it's gonna be a little different. I got to do it in kind of a pain in the ass way, but this is how we're gonna do it. So I'm using Comment Picker, which is an app that allows me to pull all the comments and put them in a spin wheel from a YouTube video. Now, I'm going to post the link from my yesterday chat, and stand by. I'm going to post let me go in there. I'm going to post the link to my chat from yesterday with VMXEO. Here's the link to that. You can, oops, let's see here. Stand by. Well, I'm going to pin that message. There we go. You can go to that chat. You can leave a comment. And with Comment Picker, I will choose comments that are only left today. And that's how I will do that. So at any time during the stream tonight, because I won't give these posters away till the very end, at any time during the stream tonight, you can click on that YouTube link, leave a comment. You can just say, go Star Jump, rock and roll, IE 2953. Can be anything. Keep it clean, keep it positive. If a comment wins, that's a negative comment. I will not honor it. Okay, it has to be a good comment. But leave a comment there, and I'll do that giveaway on YouTube. I'll draw both of these tonight at the end, so you got plenty of time because I'm gonna be streaming for a little bit, and you'll be able to win this poster. Again, I'll give 2 away tonight. I'll give 2 away during the middle of oh, thank you for that subscription, Blackhawk. Appreciate you. Salute. Just sent the Kraken over. Feathers is asking, are we allowed 2 entries on YouTube and Twitch? Yes, you are. You're allowed 2 entries. You can hit both and enter both if you want. I can't, there's no technical way I can restrict that, so I'm not going to restrict it. So yeah, that is completely open. That being said, good luck. Again, one more time, if you're on Twitch, all you got to do is exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max. And if you're on YouTube, all you got to do is go to the YouTube URL that's pinned in the chat. That's my chat with VMXEO from yesterday. And just do any kind of comment. No, Artemis, you can just make any comment you want. You can just write IE 2953 poster. You can write poster. You can write please let me win. It can be anything. It can be one word. I'm just going to pull all the comments that were made today. Okay? Or sorry, all the comments that were made in the last, 3 hours when I do the giveaway. That way it will only pull the comments from you all tonight and not the comments left on the video from earlier. But you can leave any sort of comment, and I'll be able to pull it. I'm using, let me switch over to it. I'm using this app here called Comment Picker. It allows me to put in the YouTube link, pull all the comments. I can even set certain filters there for, I can filter duplicates. I can add comment replies. I can set the settings and the time range of the giveaway, all that kind of good stuff. All right, let's see here. Sergeant Graham, why is the poster missing the secondary teal color? Because I'm not finished with the poster yet. Bad mofo. That's exactly the reason. I kind of mocked it up quickly, but I was going to also put some of the new ships from IAE that are announced, like the RSI Miner, into the poster, and then I'm going to get those teal lines in there because it's got those teal stripes in there. I just haven't got those in yet. Cosmic Moose, thank you for that subscription. Really appreciate it. All right, is everyone clear on how the giveaways work? Hopefully that's clear to everybody. Got a good crowd tonight, by the way. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Got 48 watching in YouTube and got 63 watching in Twitch, and that's without any raids. That's amazing. You all are killer. Appreciate it. Citizen Kilroy, thank you for that subscription for 20 months. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Let's continue on with ISC, and then we'll talk about that. Any last things with the Syulen? I mean, I think it's going to be really cool. Here's my big question for everyone on the Syulen. Let's go back to this ship. Where do we think the Syulen's going to come in at on cost? It's a starter ship. It's alien though. Where do we think it's going to land? Beta Pug says 110. Dragon Dios 100 to 120. Mr. Aero Capital says 75. Ooh, coming in low. But it's interesting to see the swings there. Dcash all the way up to 180. That's kind of interesting, right? Because it's got such a huge, there seems to be such a huge margin for estimates. Again, everything from 70, I'm seeing as low as 70 from Socially Confused, all the way to 180. Was 180 our highest? And remember, we get a little bit of that alien tax, right? We're going to get a little bit of that alien tax. You know what? Real quick, let's go ahead and bring up, I'm going to bring up Cinema 4D real quick. Mr. Arrow, I'm curious why you think it has to be less than the Arrow, because John Crew did say it's a starter ship, but he said it was kind of a starter ship plus, right? I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way, Arrow. And don't forget, Arrow, I do owe you a book next time I see you. You won the Paul Jones book, Game Artist. But you can always switch that out for a poster if you want something different. Let's see. Where is the Syulen? Where's the Syulen here? Stand by, stand by. Okay, this is the Estrada. We don't want that technically, but that's okay. Let me pull up the Syulen real quick here. Sorry, chat, if I miss something. Stand by. Okay, so here is our Syulen. Hopefully everyone can see it. Not textured anything. I have a landed one as well, but it's not finished yet. So we won't really use it. As a matter of fact, it's not finished at all. I don't have it properly mocked up. Let's go back to our in-game one. I wanted to show everyone real quick here, though. There's a lot of misconceptions about the size of this, and this is something I showed on the stream with VMXEO. And I think it bears some, well, I think there's some value in kind of showing, bears in mind showing what another, like a ship like the Arrow looks like. This Arrow is untextured, so I apologize. That gives you a little bit of an idea on the scale. So everyone see that? Now, here's the thing, though. Remember, the Syulen is kind of, this is your habitation area. Those wings really make it seem even bigger than it is, right? So where are we thinking? Starter price. I don't know if Ender's still in chat. Ender, be interested to hear what you think your estimate would be for this. I'm going to put it at 90 war bond. 90 war bond, 110 credit. Or no, I guess I'd want to do, yeah, I guess I'd do, shoot, that's really hard. You know what? No, I'm going 110 war bond and 120 credit. That's what I'm saying. Oh, shit. Ender says 110. I didn't see that before I said it. Awesome. Yeah. You're thinking 110 war bond, 125 credit, Ender? Yeah. And everyone, just a heads up, next week, probably midway to late in the week, me and Ender will do a stream together where we catch up on all the IAE stuff. We'll probably wait till RSI day so that we can do a more formal deep dive on the RSI minor and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you're a Star Jump Ender fan, Me and him will do a stream together on RSI Day, maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, getting all kinds of price. It's going to be really interesting to see. Again, it's a starter, but it's a starter with an interior. It's got habitation, so it's got a bed, it's got a bathroom, a sink. Remember, hygiene and all that will be a thing. They just talked about that recently. So yeah, I don't know. I think at a minimum, it's going to be 110 war bond. Yeah, that's where I'm sitting currently. If it comes in less than that, I will be pretty impressed with CIG's pricing, because I do think they could price this 110 all day long. I really do. Let's see here. Let's see here. What about the Raylan? Yeah, I mean, it's something to remember too. So the Rayland currently we're seeing at concept price, so it's going to be cheaper than what it ultimately will be. And then the Syulen is going in at a flight ready price, right? So it's going to be it's going to be priced at its max price at that point. Citizen Ninja says 110 Warbond is way too much for a 6 SCU carrying alien starter. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, it's got some pretty decent firepower too, though. So I don't know. Again, I don't really look at it as a starter. I think it's I agree with John Crew. I think it's more of a starter plus, right? It's got a little bit more to it than just a standard starter ship. I put it more on par with the Nomad. Where's the Nomad at in cost? It's kind of tricky. It's one of those ships that it doesn't fit in a traditional role. John Crew said it's a starter ship, but he also said it's kind of a starter plus. So, it's a little different. Ender puts it with the Cuddy. I don't know if I'd put it with the Cuddy personally. To me, it kind of, I would say it more competes with the Nomad. Are you all saying that the Nomad is 80? Sorry, did I miss that? What's the Nomad? Nomad is 90. See, to me, I think of this as a Nomad competitor, if you want to call it a competitor of anything. By competitor, I just mean it sort of sits in that regime, right? Not necessarily just scale, though. I mean, I think scale comes into it. Bob Dilly Bob, yes, you can. You can use that referral code that you see at the very top of my screen, *17. Okay, you can. As a matter of fact, I can type in on. Let's see here. Standby. Let me grab that link for you. Let me grab that link for you. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, you can use that referral code right up there. You can download the game. You'll get 5,000 free AUEC, all that good stuff. Billy, I know you're over on YouTube, but you should see the referral code up there at top. I can't say these names. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Stand by, everybody. We're going to go back. Let's swing back. And go back to the Spirit. Let's watch a little bit more of this.
The Crusader Spirit C1 is the cargo variant of the Crusader Spirit series. It swaps out the bomb bay, the central section of the ship, for a large cargo hold. It fits some of our ground vehicles in it. And it's really very much a purpose-built kind of cargo hauler. Just did a whole thing on the A1 at CitizenCon. It's basically that, but just with cargo. No. Nope.
The Spirit C1 is the cargo hauler of the Spirit family.
This is Crusader Industries' Cutlass competitor.
Its closest competitors are the Cutlass Black and the Freelancer. They're all roughly about the same size, the same cargo capacity. Compared to our other cargo ships in the game, this sits in sort of the lower half of straight cargo capacity. Certainly compared to some of the other Crusader ships like the Starlifters that carry a huge amount of cargo, this is on the lower end. You can put 32 SU cargo crates in there, or you can put vehicles.
So the C1 is the ship to me that's sitting in the regime of the Freelancer, the Cuddy, just like they showed, and even maybe like, you know, the Zeus and stuff like that. Those ships all share kind of a ladder rung, so to speak, on the ladder of Star Citizen ship, ships. Remember, it's not always that one ship is better than the other either. Sometimes ships sit parallel to each other, but like parallel and catty corner to each other. So it's not always if one ship is better than another ship, right? It's some ships have trade-offs compared to other ships. That's, I think, the more appropriate way of looking at it.
Vehicles in there. It's not a dedicated vehicle hauler, but there are a lot of vehicles, cyclone-sized and below, that will fit inside.
VG, hope you're well.
It utilizes that central room to essentially be stripped out and filled full of cargo, and it can carry them internally, which affords that cargo some protection. So compared to, say, a Hull A, which has the same cargo capacity, you are trading off the quick access of being able to put it on the outside of the Hull A for the security of having it on the inside of the Spirit.
For the styling of the Spirit, we try to keep that Crusader DNA in there, so it's all very like sleek, continuous paneling with like little pockets of like high-tech greeble in there.
It's a lot like the Starlifter in visual style. I'll try to take all the good elements and fun elements of that, compact it down into a not a small area, but a smaller area. So I stripped down the bomber variant of the Spirit, stretched out the floor detailing from the rear, especially the tracks, to make it suitable for vehicles to get in there. Made some big areas on the side so you can fit.
I was pretty impressed when I looked at the C1 in-game. I was pretty impressed by the interior cargo area's general shape. It's one thing to be able to carry a lot of cargo, but it's another thing to have a cargo area that is laid out in such a way that you can maximize its usability, right? And I'm not just talking pure cargo grid, right? I think a lot of times people will look at the cargo areas of ships and say, oh, it only holds 64 SCU or 72 SCU or 45 SCU. I actually look at the cargo areas or these open areas as flex spaces, right? We saw in that one trailer, that one cargo trailer they were talking about, that ISC on cargo, they showed, you know, someone building like a makeshift store on their C2 and stuff. So when I see these cargo areas, I do look at them for like future emergent gameplay usage. And one of the cool things about the Spirit C1 is it's just got this big wide open cargo area, and then the middle run is raised up a little bit, which again is perfect for vehicles. Space Tech says, yeah, there's no way you can sell a Syulen at the same price as the C1, which is better weapons, tractor, 10 times the cargo, and carry vehicles. How much is the C1? C1's 130. Yeah, I mean, look, you guys may be right. I may be going high on the Syulen just because of the cool factor attached to it. Probably a more appropriate price for the Syulen is something around 90 credit, maybe 80 war bond. I think, yep, probably that is probably more appropriate. We'll see though. I would rather estimate high, and then I would rather estimate high and be pleasantly surprised. So
the really huge SCU containers on that, the walls, they've got a very...
I'll say this, at the same time, I think the Spirits are priced actually slightly lower. I do think the Spirits bring a little bit more flexibility than ships like the Cuddy. So I don't think they could go much higher with the Spirits, but I actually was a little surprised that the Spirits were the price they were.
Very specific shape and that is so that those big containers can fit in there without hitting the edges. We're trying to keep that Crusader style in there as well. It's got some fun lighting in there to show off all the bits and gubbins.
It's all very nicely sandwiched.
You say nicely sandwiched?
Nicely sandwiched. So you've got like the bread, which is like the nice paneling, and then you've got like the filling, which is like all the nice black Kriebel sandwich.
Being a Crusader ship, the Spirit C1 is a elegant cargo hauler. It looks fast, it is fast.
It's well armoured, well armed for fast transport of that valuable cargo.
So on the exterior, the main difference on the C1 versus the other variants is we've cleaned up the top of the ship.
You'll notice that the roof kind of switches out. So the C1 has more of like a sleek, like simplified roof.
It's a little bit more aerodynamic.
So to help you load cargo in and out of the ship, especially those larger cargo crate sizes, there is a tractor beam turret on the rear of the ship that can transform from being on top of the ship to help you grab cargo to around the underside of it to help you actually physically load it into the ship and arrange it onto the cargo grids within.
When we think about...
So you probably saw there with this tractor beam, one of the nice things about the tractor beam on the Spirit, it has the articulation to be able to turn those boxes around and send them all the way into the cargo grid and set them down. I think it's been stated that, and I think a lot of people have realized that a lot of the tractor beams on some of these ships, Caterpillar and some of the others, are not very usable right now because they're in awkward places. They don't have the articulation. CIG has said that they're going to take a look at those and try to fix that issue. Specifically, one thing I think they could do is make the gimbal hard point that the tractor beam sits on. I think they could make a gimbal that has a telescopic arm in it, to where the tractor beam, the actual tractor beam module can slide out further so that it can get better turn rates and stuff and be able to push things into other ships like the Cuddy's cargo bay. For ships like the Caterpillar and stuff, it was mentioned on, it was mentioned if, Info Runners, that we can't forget that the Caterpillar command module is supposed to detach and there's supposed to be a tractor beam on it. So it'll be able to act as like a mini MPUV to move stuff into the Caterpillar. So that'll be helpful. I mean, technically all cargo ships should have tractor beams. That's been mostly stated. It's just been a little bit forgotten by CIG, I think, on some ships. So I personally, I think any dedicated cargo ship should have some form of tractor beam. One thing I think they could do is have, first off, it'd be easy for them to add those tractor beam mounts, either both internally. So like imagine a tractor beam that's on a rooftop mount just inside the actual cargo bay area. They don't have to be big. But in lieu of that, we have, we do have the larger tractor beam guns now that you can have people out there doing it. But again, I will say, I do think all cargo ships should get tractor beams. And just because, again, it to me, it's tractor beams are part of the cargo gameplay loop. So I think it should be a thing. So yeah. Real quick, everyone, just a reminder, if you are on YouTube and you want to win or have a chance at winning this IAE 2953 Star Jump Fleet Viewer poster, just go to the link that's pinned on the top of chat in YouTube. Go there, leave a comment on that YouTube video. That's my YouTube video, or that's my stream from yesterday with VMXEO. Just leave a comment on that video. It can be anything. It can be one word. It can be hi, goodbye, poster, whatever. And I'll pull all those comments at the end of the stream tonight and choose a winner. If you are on Twitch, all you got to do is do exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max, and you can be entered to win that way if you're on Twitch. You can also do both if you want. Get in on both. All right, let's see here. Let's go back. Continuing on.
Within.
When we think about variants, I think it's personally important that we're not just talking about kind of a loadout change and a tint palette change. For me, I think the more we can do with both the interior and the exterior to really sell the idea that this is a separate ship is kind of super important. With the Spirit, we've made some changes to the exterior and interior, as well as the normal loadout changes. And that, for me, just adds a little bit more value to what we class as a variant ship. It's not a case that we can always afford to do that for all of our ships, but where we can, that's the way we like to go.
So you've got the colours black for the Drake owners who like doing Drake things, you've got the Freelancer for the working class of the universe, and then if you want style and speed, then the Spirit C1's there. And you'll look a lot cooler doing it too.
John Cruz sounded very convinced of that, didn't he? That's what Drake owners do. We do Drake things.
It's one of the big questions.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. Obviously, Spirit C1, we knew this was coming. It was talked about. Well, not talked about, but we had the A1 release obviously already, so everyone's been discussing the C1 coming. I think they put it up on the roadmap thing a while ago at this point. Oh no, I remember what they said. They said it was going to come in a 3.21.x patch. So we kind of knew the C1 was coming. Obviously, no word on the E1. I imagine the E1's pretty far out. They probably won't circle back around that until passenger gameplay comes online. With a little bit of a shame. I would have loved for them to go ahead and get the E1 out. Again, allow us to be testing it, or at least test everything we can. Remember, there's a lot of stuff on these ships. It's not related to their actual gameplay loop, mechanics of the ship, the doors functionality, different things. So personally, I like to test them. So I don't always prefer they wait for gameplay, like a lot of people do. But anyway, C1, not a big surprise, coming soon. I do have one. It's going to be kind of a daily driver for me. We'll see how it ultimately sits once I get the Zeus CL. I don't immediately go, well, the CL's better because it carries more cargo, because it's quite obvious that the Spirit is a little bit more general purpose, probably has better armor, better agility, and better weaponry, I think. But a daily driver for me is a ship that can run cargo pretty well as well, like smaller box missions and stuff. And I'm looking at the Clipper. I think the Clipper's a really nice ship, so it'll just sort of, I'll have to see how the Zeus ultimately comes together in the end, and then I'll make a decision on which one of those I sort of keep as my daily driver, either the Zeus CL, otherwise known as the Clipper, or the Spirit C1. All right, let's go ahead and continue. They're going to talk about the Tumbril Storm.
As we always get is, what changed from the concept and to the production model. And I think really with the Storm, Alberto just kind of nailed the concept from day one.
I'm not going to say that in public.
The concept is so good.
Because my concept was so good. What? Why? It's so cringe.
The Storm is a light tank from Tumbril that values speed and agility over raw armor and firepower.
Tumbril Storm is a light scout tank, a single-seater.
It's the Nova's smaller sibling. It's fast, it's light, it's still heavily gunned.
It's very agile, good for recon. You can cut through canyons like a motorcycle, or you can go off jumps, and there's plenty of clearance for the player to be able to really let it rip and enjoy the terrain.
Visually with the Storm, we really tried to kind of push the futuristic feel of Tumbril as a manufacturer.
I think the overall design feels very much like the Batmobile from the Christopher Nolan universe, and I love that look about it.
I think with the Nova, we played it fairly safe with the kind of the art style and the overall forms. Whereas with the Storm, we really want to do something a little bit new, show that Tumbril could not only deliver kind of advanced weaponry, but visually they could kind of advance what they're known for. The big kind of selling point of the Tumbril visually, for me, has got to be the tracks and the track covers and those whole pods. They really kind of help to add a feeling of dynamic movement into the vehicle.
So compared to the Nova, the Storm has quite an interesting enter-exit mechanic. So the whole front of the tank opens up in some sort of mouth-like contraption.
The whole front of the tank opens up and the seat kind of comes down and it kind of swallows you in.
The player sits on the seat that is presented to them and then is cocooned back within the ship.
When you kind of get sucked into this seat and the doors all close around you, it's just quite a unique experience.
It's kind of like you're wearing it.
You could say it's kind of like you're wearing it. Yeah. It's kind of got that feeling of a mech, but...
Pirate's Cake, it does have 2 gun racks, actually. It has 2.
If you want to wear a tank, the Storm's for you.
Both outside and on the front.
There is no walkable interior compared to the Nova, so it is literally just you cocooned within inside the front of the tank.
And I think that really helps to make the vehicle feel super safe and secure when you're inside it. It gives you a lot of confidence that you're sat in something that's super strong and robust.
The driver controls the gun and everything aboard the vehicle, whereas the Nova can operate with 1 crew, but is best operated with 2 or 3 to share the load between all the additional weapons. For ground operations, they're designed to work in tandem together. The Storms to push ahead of the main ground force, to do some reconnaissance, figure out where the enemy is, figure out their strength, engage them if they're engaged, but then the Novas will take over to do the actual heavy lifting of the damage and engagement.
If you're looking for more speed, more maneuverability, the Storm kind of sits in a good spot where it's not quite a Cyclone and it's not quite a Nova, but it kind of sits in that middle part.
The gun is really cool. That took Nathan a couple weeks to come across, but it's like one of his first projects with us. I think it was super successful.
Originally, it was supposed to be shooting bullets. We converted into an energy weapon after the fact. It's just more expensive to fire bullets. I think when it comes to a laser repeater, dollars to donuts, you know, shooting energy is much more cheaper than shooting bullets and twice as effective, so.
So real quick, before we get into the AA variant here, I did run the Storm through its paces yesterday, or no, earlier today on the PTU. And yeah, PTU, yeah. And I really had a lot of fun with it. It's pretty fast. It's hey, Joey Nova, hope you're well. By the way, everyone, thank you for the follows and the subscribes and all that kind of good stuff. Really appreciate that support. I give you all the double salute. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, it was really great. I enjoyed it. I feel like there's 2 primary issues with the Storm currently, though. One is specifically to the Storm, in that it feels like it has no suspension, even when I think it does have suspension. And I think the way to mitigate that to some degree is to rework the advanced camera view, the F4 camera view. It'd be nice if that view had a little bit of the suspension give in it, because right now, when you're hitting bumps and stuff, the camera's just, it's almost a little jarring when you're driving that fast in something like the Nova. Now, the next issue, and this is a bigger issue, it's really related to all Star Citizen vehicles, and I'm actually going to pull something up here. Let me pull up a link here. So when I was driving the Storm, the first thing that hit me right away is I was like, man, this thing feels really light, right? Like it felt like it was like, I don't know. It felt like it was made of cardboard. It was just, you know, it wouldn't flip over as easy, but if you hit even an incline of like 15 degrees and turned into it, or like turned out of a 15-degree incline, it would like lift up and kind of float on its side for a minute and then fall back down. And it highlights an issue that is prevalent in pretty much all Star Citizen ground vehicles. They have no traction in low gravity or environments that have thin atmospheres. And it's a big problem, in my opinion. Obviously, especially for fast moving, vehicles, race cars, stuff like that on Earth, with thick air, we have spoilers, right? Hey, how are you? We have spoilers on vehicles, right? Those spoilers grab the air pushes down on them, thus pushing the tires onto the concrete or to the asphalt, gives you more traction, more control, right? We don't have that in Star Citizen. And so it becomes a technical question of, well, how do we give people traction so that they're not floating all over the place and bouncing all over the place like a beach ball, still give them control in these low gravity environments? And the only real way to do that is we need to have maneuvering thrusters on ground vehicles, and they need to be pointed up. So like essentially upward facing, maneuvering thrusters, excuse me. And whenever the vehicle detects that the suspension is lightening up because the vehicle's going over a hill or something like that, those thrusters need to compensate in real time. Maybe with your mouse wheel, you could even adjust the strength of the thrusters to either give you more bounce, because sometimes it is cool to hit those little ramps and go 150 yards downrange. So maybe you could have your thrusters backed off, or maybe you push more power to the thrusters and they help keep you on the ground to give you better traction, better control ultimately, because a lot of these vehicles have turning issues, stopping issues, all that, just because they can't get any traction. So you go to turn them and they just slide, which is one of the biggest issues with the Storm currently. It slides all over the place. Like pretty bad actually. So it's not an issue with the vehicle per se. It's an issue with the ability to get traction in a low gravity environment. So VMXEO, hope you're well. Salute to you. Thanks for doing the stream with me the other night. We're just watching ISC. Let's continue on. Let's look at the AA version here.
The Storm AA trades out the bespoke top-mounted turret for a fixed missile array. It contains a very large amount of size 1 missiles and a selection of size 2 missiles.
You can now fire more missiles on this than anything else in the game currently.
So we're still working out the final numbers for this at the point of recording, but it's safe to say it has a lot of missiles.
So all at once you can fire a huge payload at your target.
You wouldn't want to be a ship near that thing because it has so many missiles.
We try and envisage all the ways players are going to use these vehicles. We're always surprised by what ends up in reality. So I think players are going to have lots of fun with this at sort of ground location like Ghost Hollow.
It is a light tank. It is pretty quick for a ground vehicle, but it still feels really strong.
Whilst the Storm is essentially as wide as the Nova, limiting it to being able to be carried in some ships, it is much, much less tall than the Nova. So a lot of ships, such as the Carrack, couldn't fit a Nova, can fit a Storm. I expect to see Storms popping up a lot.
So there you go, Ender. The Carrack can carry the Storm. John Crew just confirmed that.
A lot more all over the place.
There's our flight-ready ships, drive-ready ships for IAE. You could probably include the Argo SRV in there as well. I kind of am semi-including that one. But yeah, it does look like VM. I don't know if you're in chat. I know I saw you just a second ago. It does kind of look like the Storm AA is a slightly different color. It's a little hard to tell because I can't tell if the ship's in shadow or not. But either way, yeah, we can look at that for Fleet Viewer.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that
we have more video, but I think it's just Jared making funnies, so we'll skip that for now. So yeah, let me switch back over to my big channel. So yeah, there we go. The ships of IAE, at least especially the flight / drive ready ones. It could be lighting VM. I'm not 100% sure. It could be lighting. Space Tech says it is. The AA is gray compared to the brown of the standard variant. So like I said, VM, it could be something I could just switch in Photoshop. I don't know if it fully requires new renders from you, bud. Anyway, I agree with what a lot of people have been saying. I think it's going to be a big IE in terms of just generating money, especially in regards to the Storm and the Syulen. Two ships that I think are going to come in at a nice price point. One of those price points that like people are okay with spending the money on that. I think when you go up a little bit higher than that, you'll hit the Argo SRV, the Spirit C1. So you're going to have Storm, Syulen kind of sitting here, SRV and C1 sitting a little higher than that. And then obviously the next big ship that we should probably talk about for a little bit here, which is, let me bring it up here, everyone. Stand by. We're going to talk about the Arastra, the new RSI miner. Turn off my lights here. So again, there's a lot we don't technically know about this ship still. We do know it's a we do know that it's an RSI heavy mining ship. There's been a lot of speculation on how it mines, and some of the functionality of the boxes and stuff down here. It's quite obvious that it stores boxes, probably semi-exposed. Maybe this does eject boxes. I'm not 100% sure, but while the cargo box layer of the hollow model, which I can pull out right now, you can kind of see that right there. While it only shows boxes in these two trenches, it's obvious that they go all the way back. You can see more trenches here and additional boxes. I think just for the hollow model, they just didn't fill it out. So boxes will go there, mining bags, whatever else is supposed to fall in that category. Arbiter 41 says, where are the mining points? That's the thing. We don't totally know. It's very possible they're just not present on this ship. Or on this hollow model. This hollow model is obviously lacking some serious detail. It could have something to do with these giant arms up here. These look a little different than anything we've seen. They do have some similarities to some of the geometry, in my opinion, on the Orion. Not exact, but there's some similarities. It's quite possible that maybe these are some sort of ground mining array or something. I don't really know. Maybe it's some new mining technology we haven't seen yet. Maybe this mines in a way we're unsure of yet. It's also very possible that these arms are supposed to hold two big mining lasers. It's very possible too. Citizen Ninja says maybe the lasers fold out from the arms. I think that's a very likely possibility. We have arms here which seem to have a lot of like kind of almost rail-like systems on the outside. It could be that big mining arms fold out of there and do something with. I was even wondering if maybe these things here, these big vent areas, maybe they create some sort of sonic mining thing where you cause micro vibrations and it like breaks rock apart, which actually is a real mining technique. Maybe it's some sort of play off of that. I know Info Runners was betting heavily that it's some sort of that it kind of can mine from the surface of planets, right? That's possible. It's got this interesting little observation window up here that sort of feels like it's pointing down a little bit. And maybe that is there because it does do some sort of something right here in the middle in between these two arms. And maybe that's for observing and controlling that functionality. It could be mining drones. Again, we just don't know. There's a lot of speculation here about this one. As we showed, me and VMXEO showed on the stream the other night. A lot of people are curious about the scale of this ship. I can pop up the Galaxy real quick and give you a good idea of scale. That's the Galaxy next to the RSI miner. The Galaxy, I believe, is 115. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Galaxy is 115 meters long. And the I have the RSI miner at around 120 meters long, about 120 meters long. So, yeah. Citizen Ninja says 110 meters for Galaxy. Yeah, that's if that's the case, that puts the RSI miner, the Arastra, God, it's hard to say, at about 120 meters based off my measurements. As a matter of fact, we can look at those measurements now. I'll turn off the Galaxy. Well, first thing, oops, did I crash it? No, we'll turn off the Galaxy for a second. I'm going to bring in one of my sticks here. I'm going to change our units. I think right now I'm on centimeters. Yep, I'm going to change that to meters. Okay, and we got our bar in here. Agent 1213, thank you for the follow. Sending the javelin overhead. Really appreciate it. If you're in the Twitch channel and you haven't hit follow yet, please do. I really, really appreciate it. For those of you on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very, very much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this little bar here. You can see me dragging it out. I just kind of refer to this as my measuring stick. Kind of line it up here, front to back, kind of get it equal to the back, equal to the front. You know, good enough. There you can see we're kind of dead on. And then I can look at that box. I can look at its dimensions, and on the x-axis, which is this axis, I'm showing 118.7 meters. So it's about 118.7 meters long. It's got a height of about, I'd say it's got a height of about 20 meters, maybe 19.3 meters. And let's look at the beam. On the beam side of things, it's got a beam of 64.3 meters. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of scale. So here's my box. You can see our Arastra fits perfectly inside of it. This box is the scale of the ship on all three axes, and the box is 118.7 meters. Let's go ahead and call that 119 meters by 19 meters tall by 64.3 meters wide. For some additional clarity, I can open up stand by. Let's open up, where is it? All right, we'll open up this. We'll grab our Carrack and we'll bring it in, drop it down. Let's go ahead and remove our thing. So this, I think, pretty sure this is all to scale. Yes, it is. Carrack kind of starts here. Let's go ahead and back them up, booty to booty. There we go. So yeah, that gives you a little bit of an idea of the size of the Carrack versus the miner. The miner's a pretty big ship. I mean, it's definitely would be classified as a large ship. Yeah, it's big. I mean, you know, I don't know if any other ships can beat the Carrack just in pure junk in that trunk, you know, and that's part of the Carrack's charm. But there you go. That's a general size relation to the Anvil Carrack. It's a big ship. It's a big ship. I'm always interested to see how some of these ships sit on the ground. So that'll be interesting to see its landing gear and stuff like that. Okay, everyone, I just want to remind you real quick. Going to swing back over here. If you want to get in on the IAE 2953 Fleet Viewer poster, all you got to do in Twitch, if you're on Twitch, just do !ticket or !ticket space max. If you haven't followed the channel, please follow the channel. I think you get some points for doing that anyway. For those of you who are on YouTube, you will see a YouTube link pinned in the chat at the very top. You can click on that link. That is my stream with VMXEO from yesterday. Just leave a comment in that on that video. It can be anything. You can just comment poster, hi, bye, hello, all that good stuff. Just literally write anything. I'm going to grab all the comments from the last 3-4 hours, and then it does an automatic, spin the wheel type giveaway. We'll get to that. I do have some additional changes to make to this. Someone brought up the teal. I do have to get the teal lines in there. And then I was going to put some new ships in from IE, probably the Arastra and stuff like that. So there you go. Get in on that. We'll be doing that giveaway here. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. So on Stream Elements for Twitch, we have 37 entries, 181 tickets purchased. So yeah, get it in. We only have 37 people in it. And then obviously with the YouTube comments, I will do those at the end, and we'll see how many that is. All right. Stand by, everybody. Any ship questions while I have Cinema 4D open? Now's a good time. Now is a great time to talk about or look at or bring up models and whatnot. I may not have every ship ready, but that one, Fox, so that the ! ticket space max is for Twitch. You can always go over to Twitch and enter there as well. If you do have a Twitch account, head over there, enter. If you're on YouTube though, which you are, that one, Fox, in the YouTube channel, you will see a URL pinned by me at the top of the chat. It's a YouTube link. Click on that. That'll take you to my video from yesterday. Just leave a comment on that video. Can be any comment, nothing negative, please. Just any comment, and I will pull your comment for the YouTube giveaway for the same poster. Okay, and just so everyone's clear, I'm giving a poster away for the Twitch community and a poster away for the YouTube community. So 2 posters will be given away tonight. The Dark Red Fox, thank you for that follow. Send in the Javelin overhead. Appreciate it. Yes. Okay. Let me get back to it. Here. Question. I see a question in brackets. Sorry, I lost it. Where did it go? Question. Rocks go in back of Arastra garage. I don't know if I noticed any sort of garage. Let's go back here and check. I'm going to turn off our light. Yeah, that looks like a ramp to me. This model doesn't have all that articulated though. Sadly, so it, and there's definitely no interior. Yeah, so we won't be able to do full on tests. But yeah, that looks like a ramp to me. So yeah, I absolutely think it can carry ground vehicles. And it's going to be a pretty big one, a pretty big ramp. So I'm sure it can carry rocks, cyclones, stuff like that. Yeah, that won't be an issue. It can probably carry most anything that the Carrot can carry. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Any other 3D questions here? Question. Is this the program you use for Fleet Viewer? Dark Silver. So we use 2 programs for Fleet Viewer. If it's a flight ready ship, meaning it's a ship in game, We will use the amazing Starfab that VMXEO, who is in chat, developed along with 2 other people, James the Stormtrooper and Ventivar. They use Starfab and Blender to do the flight ready ships. And, we give them the big giant salute for doing that work. If it's a concept ship, so something that there isn't an in-game model for, then that runs through my pipeline. So things like the Crucible, the Endeavor, the Kraken, stuff like that. All that, or the Zeus, the Arastra, all that runs through my pipeline, which is Cinema 4D, specifically using Cinema 4D and scanline rendering. I will be switching to Redshift rendering very, very soon, and I'm hoping to see an improvement in the quality of the ships when I switch renders. Pie versus Cake says, can you put the new alien ship for scale versus those 2? Yes, I can. I can do that. The new alien ship. Let's grab the Syulen. I got to get used to these names. We got some pretty exotic names. Stand by. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Let me get here. I'll let this render up here. Typhonics, thank you so much for the follow. Sending the old jab overhead. Really appreciate it. All right, there you go, Pie versus Cake. Again, remember, the Syulen is a lot like the Raylan. When it's in flight mode, it's got kind of a big stance, right? It feels pretty imposing. However, it's important to remember, I'm going to make this window a little bigger here. However, it's you really got to kind of look at it from this angle. And in this angle, the Syulen is got quite a small kind of living area. Citizen Ninja says, I'm guessing 475 war bond, 550 credit. So I think you're a little high, Citizen. I think this ship. Well, wait a minute. How much was the Galaxy? Can anyone in chat tell me how much the Galaxy was? The base Galaxy with no modules. And then how much was the refinery module? 380? Oh, that's a little higher than I thought. Okay, cool. So 380 for the base Galaxy and then 70. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I think it's probably 450, 475. I'm going to say 450 war bond, 475 credit is what I think for the Arastra. Oops, why do these not look good? Turn on my light. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. The mole, Dark Silver says the mole is 315. Oh, wow. Is the mole 315? I didn't realize it was 315. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a great point. I think 450, 475 is about right. Does everyone agree? Is everyone kind of sitting there? So Metallic says he thinks it's going to be on the higher side, so 575. Wiggins says 600, your guess? I don't think it's going to be that because the Orion is 575, as Feathers just pointed out, which they did go up a little bit. It's not going to be as big as, it's not going to be as much as the Orion. The Orion's a capital sized ship. Oh, yeah, it did go up. What did the Orion go up to, chat? It went up a little bit. It went up $75, right? So is it 650? So the Orion's 650 now. Okay. So the Orion's 650. All right, let's do some math here. How big is the Orion now? What's it currently sitting at? Why isn't the Orion coming up? That's interesting. All right, the Orion's coming in at 341 meters. I'm trying to remember how confirmed that is. 341 meters. Should we bring up the Orion real quick? Should we bring up the Orion? I'm asking while I'm doing it, so I'm pretending you've already said yes. Do I even have the Orion? Where's Orion? All right, let's see here. 340. Yeah, so Procerius. Hopefully, I'm saying that right, buddy. I apologize for getting your name wrong. Your Orion is currently listed at 341 meters. We're gonna bring it in here. I'm gonna drop it in. I don't know if the Orion's to scale. I may have to scale it. That does happen sometimes. Okay. Yep. It's not to scale. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I need to put down a measuring stick here. I need to make the measuring stick 341 meters long. Okay. And let me just save this for a second in case I crash it. Hopefully I don't crash it. We're going to turn off the Gatac and the Syulen. Let's go ahead and scale up. Okay, going to scale up the Orion here to fit. Oh yeah, it's got to scale up quite a bit. Stand by everybody. You're kind of seeing how the sausage is made here. Oof, even bigger. Okay, oh my God, even bigger. Okay, there it is. So wall to wall. So here's my measuring stick for 341 meters right here. And there the Orion is now 341 meters. So let's move this out. Oh God, no, that's my cube. Where's my Orion? There it is. So if you've ever wondered the scale difference between the Orion and the Arastra, at least how the Orion is currently scaled. Now, I want to do a big, gigantic caveat here. The Orion, just like the Arastra, is still a concept ship. It could grow, it could shrink. We really don't know. It's already grown several times. I think the Orion was originally much smaller. And then from what I heard, and this may be wrong information, if there's anyone from CIG lurking in the chat, I could be wrong on this. I heard that the Orion grew because it has a moment in Squadron 42, which seems odd, but supposedly it has a moment in Squadron 42 and it had to grow because of that. Again, I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's an exterior only thing. I don't know. But regardless, it grew. The Orion's got to get a massive reconcepting anyway, because it uses like engine designs and stuff that aren't even RSI designs anymore. Like the RSI, the whole RSI design aesthetics language has changed. So the Orion's going to get some massive reconcepting. Feather says, if the Orion is an asteroid miner, then it would make sense for the Arastra to be a planet-side miner. Yeah, it would make sense. So it takes a little bit of time to render up. The Orion is kind of an unoptimized hollow viewer model. Mithric says, my understanding was that the Orion was supposed to be a mining platform as opposed to just a ship. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it damn near is a space station. You know, I mean, this thing is way bigger. I mean, think about it like this. This thing is 30. It's the Orion is 70 meters longer than a Kraken. Think about that for a minute. You'd have to take a Kraken and then put a constellation on the rear of it, nose to nose, to get the length of the Orion. The Orion is a big ship. Now, you do have to remember, though, there's usable space and non-usable space, right? So that's something important to keep in mind. For those of you that are curious, the Arastra will of course be going into Fleet Viewer. However, the Arastra, because it's a concept ship, and I don't totally know what it looks like, I'm going to have to wait until more concept art comes out for it, so that I can properly texture it and prep it for Fleet Viewer. We have a pretty high bar, high fidelity bar that we try to hit with Stargent Fleet Viewer, and this is one of those ships that's going to require some work. Stuika says Orion is current longest viable ship, isn't it? No, it's the Javelin. The Javelin is the current longest viable ship. The Orion is 341 meters long. The Javelin is 480 meters long. Javelin's a big ship. Javelin's a very big ship. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Sirius. Really appreciate that. So, Arbiter, the Endeavor is currently, I'm actually going to bring this up. So, the Endeavor is currently listed at 200 meters long, which is not accurate. The Endeavor needs to be much bigger to fit, within metric and everything. And you're in luck. I did a show. Oops. I did a thank you for the follow, X Tour. Appreciate it. I did a Stargem Shipyard episode all on the Endeavor. You can check that out here. Stargem Shipyard episode all on the Endeavor. I go in depth on its length and why it probably needs to grow substantially. I think the Endeavor actually needs to grow to about 325-ish meters, 340 meters roughly, in my opinion, to be what it needs to be. Let's see. Star Merlin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You are all legendary tonight. Thank you very much. Yeah, there we go. Orion next to the Arastra. I don't know if anyone else out there has put these two next to each other to see yet. So, any other 3D questions while I have Cinema 4D open? It's open and seems to be running okay without crashing. Let's see. Endeavor is going to need a massive crew, pretty much any config. Yeah, and by the way, if you have any requests or questions that you want me to address with Cinema 4D, 3D models or Fleet Viewer or whatever, put in brackets question or request, and I'll make sure to see them. So, here's extra why the Orion grew. Okay, Rooster Ray just saying, during its white box phase in 2017, it was scaled up by close to 100% in size from its original concept to make room for the interior. Gotcha. Okay. Rooster, was that shown in a video? I know there was a video from back in those old days, 2016, 2017, whatever, where they showed some white box of the interior of the Orion. I would love to have a link to that video. I've seen it before. You won't be able to post a link in chat, but you can always DM me in Twitch if you want. If you find it, just let me know. I know there's a question talking about how much the Syulen will be. We talked about that. I think we were hovering wildly. It went from like $50 to $300 or $50 to like $200. It was all over the place. The more I think about it, I'm thinking about 90 for it. Somewhere around the cost of the Nomad. No worries, Rooster. You don't have to put yourself out or go out of your way or anything. I would like to see that again. I've watched it one other time, and I remember seeing some of that interior. VG says, question, Cinema 4D is $1,200 a year. Is there a comparable, cheaper, or free program to learn 3D modeling on? Absolutely. There is Blender, and Blender is really great. As a matter of fact, I would recommend it over Cinema 4D. You can download Blender for free. It actually works with StarFab. So if you download StarFab, VMXEO made, there's a Blender plugin you can install so that when you export stuff via StarFab, you can then open it in Blender. Really cool. Totally free. And there's lots of online tutorials about how to use Blender. So you can literally just type in, Blender tutorial, beginner, whatever. Start small, start slow, and you can learn 3D. You can totally learn 3D. Now, I will say in a professional setting, so like in the film and television industry, Blender is not used very much. It's more 3D Studio Max, Maya, Cinema 4D, etc. Not for any real reason, to be honest with you. Blender is perfectly fine for what it does, and I've seen some people do some really amazing work in Blender. The main thing though is it's a pretty robust piece of software. So take your time, do the the tutorials. Start small. The first things you're going to create is probably a sphere. You're gonna build simple stuff, but before you know it, you get pretty quick. Who was it? Ollie 40, was it Ollie 43 or whatever? I forget his name. He's a big YouTuber. He's got a ton of people, like 1 million people, 1 million followers or something. Real nice guy. I've talked to him a little bit. Ollie was learning Blender and just started from scratch, and he was doing some great stuff. As a matter of fact, he rendered this out. Which I saved just because I'm a big Kraken fan, obviously. So yeah, I think it was Ollie. I always forget his name. I want to get his name right, so let me grab his name. He's a big time YouTuber. Ollie 43. Thank you, Dragon Dios. Yeah, real nice guy. Actually, I have talked to him before, and he was like, when or he was asking me, what was he asking me? Oh, he's asking me a StarFab question or a Blender question. I forget, but I directed him to a Discord to where he could get, a lot of his questions answered and stuff. But he seems like a great dude. Agent 12123, that's great. You can just DM me if you want. As a matter of fact, I can click on there. I'll just send you a little message now. Feel free to DM it to me. I just DM'd you on Twitter. Yeah, so I don't have this. This isn't my thing. It was, if you go on Twitter and search for Ollie43, I know he posted this on Twitter. He straight up posted it on Twitter. Oh, Dark Silver, you sent me the link. Okay, as well. And Agent 1213 did as well. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Dark Silver, I didn't see you sent that because my little notification didn't popped up, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, Ollie, by the way, is a really cool guy. Seems really down to earth. Artemis says Ollie is still in the honeymoon phase of Star Citizen, which is awesome. Yeah, we all kind of go through that, don't we? But yeah, I mean, it's he did this render of the Kraken. I just thought it was really, really cool. I always know that someone is using the hollow model though, because the hollow model for the Kraken doesn't have its 2 main turrets, and it doesn't have any turrets on it. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that with the hollow viewer for the Kraken, but next time you're in the hollow viewer room for IAE and you are looking at the Kraken, it's got no turrets on it. So that was something very early on when we were first doing Fleet Viewer that I was like, no, if we're going to have the Kraken, we're going to have it with its turrets. So I put the turrets in. I'll bring that up real quick here. Go to perspective. Let me turn off lights. Yeah, so on my Kraken for Fleet Viewer, you'll see that we have the turrets up here and down there, as well as the port and starboard dual turrets here. I'm still wondering if they're going to switch this from an upside down one. And then the top turret up here, there's also a turret, if I remember, underneath. Yeah, right under here. A lot of people forget this turret. It's got another turret under here. The Kraken is like truly bristling with turrets. It's got turrets everywhere. My God, it's going to require so many people to properly arm the turrets on this thing. Let's go back to our Arastra, though. There we go. What is this thing? What is that? Oh, that's okay. Oops, sorry, everyone. So, yeah, I mean, going back to our ship scale on the Arastra, though, one cool thing that I'm curious about is the Arastra has these boxes up top. You can see those boxes. That could be material. And one of the things that was mentioned, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but someone said, let me see, Rooster, 1 second. I will check this. I think so, Rooster. Yeah, I'll check this out. Thank you very much. But let me close this. Sorry, get back to it. Is that, someone said that these boxes are able to be ejected from the top or maybe pulled out with, tractor beam technology. And we know that the Galaxy refinery module will be able to pull stuff up from down here. It's got a tractor beam that can pull boxes and mining bags up. So I'm actually wondering, Gib Merchant Man, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm wondering if these two will be able to work together really nicely, because this ship could just pull boxes straight up from this one and right up into its refinery bay. I don't know if that's the intended kind of working relationship between these two ships, but it would be cool if it was. Let's see. Xtor says, honestly, for the sake of balance, capital ships should be restricted to land on planets, or at the very least, make it very hard to exit Atmo, make it dependent on planets' gravities. Yeah, so it is, Xtor. Capital ships will have to deal with the danger of landing planet side and the risks involved with that. It's actually been said before that that you're going to want to use things like multiple SRVs to help get some of these big capital ships safely off of planets, especially planets with pretty strong gravity. If it's like a moon, though, with light gravity, then the caps probably can get off pretty easy. Kevithar1138 says, is the Arastra not a minor refiner? I'm not 100% sure. I know its description leaked out. Did the description say it was a refiner as well, or could do some limited refining? Yeah, Merchant Man. I'm very dangerously doing some rendering while streaming. Luckily, I've got a pretty beast mode computer, so. Metallic News says it has refinery bag slots. Okay, well, so I guess it can do that. Yeah, I wasn't fully aware, but that's pretty awesome. Yes, the blurb has it refining. Okay, well, there you go. I mean, let me see if I have the blurb up here. Bear with me, chat. Yeah, bear with me. Let me go very carefully. Here he goes. I'm going to read the description. RSI Arastra, heavy mining. Description. With all the risks involved in mining the universe's vast stores of valuable resources, Robert Space Industries wants to make sure that choosing the right ship isn't one of them. The Arastra industrial mining platform was concepted from the struts up with safety and efficiency in mind. Remote operator seats provide extra protection to your crew. The onboard refinery, there you go, is ideal for a more profitable workflow. The automated mineral storage pipeline effortlessly prepares your gathered resources for transfer, and the auxiliary garage allows for increased operational flexibility while on site. See, that's interesting. That's interesting. So essentially, at the very least, they do see this ship being down near planetary surfaces, because they're saying garage use while on site. So I think they think of you deploying rocks, while you're on site doing the work, and getting that additional usage out of that. That'd have been weird to say, for example, if this was purely an in space miner like the Orion. So that's one bit of information we can glean, that it's very likely this ship will be doing some of it, doing a lot of its work, on planetary surfaces, in addition to probably can mine asteroids as well. But VG says, question, the auxiliary garage allows for increased operational flexibility while on site, heavily implies ground ops. Yep, agreed. Just what I was talking about. Absolutely agree, VG. Let's see, are there plans to be able to refine gems? I doubt it, Verena. I would, Verenia, sorry if I said that wrong. I always say your name wrong. Verenia. I would think that you would deploy the rocks for that. Shimpasa says, does this not make the Expanse redundant? I don't think so, because the Expanse, a couple reasons. The Expanse is single-seater, and the Expanse only refines material. To me, the Expanse is the sister ship to the Prospector. So if your buddy goes out in a Prospector and you want to tag along, but you don't like mining, then you would take the Expanse. Those two ships working together, I think would complement each other well. And then if you pair that with something like a hull A or a hull B to haul the stuff back and forth, what that allows you to do is it allows the Prospector to pull up Quantanium. Instead of going all the way back to the station, it allows it to send it to an Expanse who's right there with it, get it refined right there on site, and then you can load that on a hull A or hull B, and safely, taking your time, get back to a marketplace to sell that, or to a trading post to sell. So the Expanse, in my opinion, it pairs really well with a Prospector or a Mole. It's supposed to be going out with those ships so that you're not mining on site. You find some great mining area and then have to keep leaving it to go refine your Quantanium, which has obviously got a time limit on it. Now, that being said, I don't think we're going to see a lot of ships in the Expanse's, domain. Like, I don't think we need 3 or 4 variants of the single seat refinery ship from different manufacturers. I think the Expanse can kind of play that role, and that's all we really need at that scale. Xtor says, do you have a model for the Expanse? I do. Yes, I do. I can open that if you want. Can bring it into this little party. There's 2 variants. There's the Stardust edition, which is kind of the special edition, and then the base model. We'll just open up the base model here. Let me close this Orion model, though, because it is pretty heavy. All right, there's our Expanse. I'll just grab it, and we will throw it in here with our Arastra. Might as well, right? I don't know if I have the Expanse to scale. Okay, it looks like I do. There's the size of the Expanse. Kind of gives you an idea. Let me stand by, everyone. This needs to be 1. There we go. That's why that's taking forever. Okay. Expanse and Liberator are my 2 most anticipated ships. Restream says, congratulations, I've received 1,000 messages today. That's great. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the Liberator. I think that's it's definitely a cool ship. It's not one that I own. I probably won't own it, but I see the value in it. I actually see the value in it quite a bit, especially for systems that need to be able to carry smaller ships over greater distances. So I definitely see the need for it. As a carrier, I don't necessarily see a great need for it as like the landing craft style ship that it is, but I think CIG will give it enough flexibility to do a few different types of roles. But the funny thing about the Liberator is it's a pretty popular ship. People seem to really like it, so it doesn't surprise me there's several of you in chat that are really anticipating it. Will the Endeavor have CCU available, and is the Endeavor time sensitive? No, the Endeavor's not hull limited. I don't think, is it? No. I don't know if it'll have CCU available. I've never CCU'd to it, so I'm not totally sure, Big Boss. But I can tell you that it'll be available. Oh, Darkness says you can CCU to the Endeavor from the Gemini for $10. So you can buy a Gemini to Endeavor CCU for $10. That's the base Endeavor, though. They don't sell the master set anymore, do they? I think you have to buy the modules individual now. You can CCU to the base. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can. I mean, the Endeavor is definitely a ship that will go up in price pretty significantly. So if you have 350 and you want the Endeavor, now's a good time. My only thing I'll say about that is be prepared to wait for that ship for a long time. That's going to be something that okay, some people did buy the master set. It's available to concierge. So the Endeavor is something that if you buy it, you're going to have to just it's going to sit in the old hangar for a while. So again, just something to keep in mind. That's one of those ships that's just going to sit there for a while and do its thing. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all have lots of ships that sit in the hangar for years and years and years before they go flight ready. So Pie versus Cakes is probably the last ship made. So interestingly enough, from a technology standpoint, they're mostly solved all the hurdles with the ship. Modularity coming on board, and all that stuff will solve a lot of the technical hurdles of the Endeavor. The only thing really holding it back are the gameplay loops. However, I do see a way around that. In a way, and there is a path for which the Endeavor is not the last ship to come into the game, and here's how that happens, in my opinion. For one, CIG would have to make the decision that, hey, we're going to switch back to MISC family of ships and work on the MISC family, sort of like they're doing with RSI right now with the Polaris, Galaxy, Perseus, the Minor, etc., Apollo. They'd have to be switching back to a MISC family of ships and try to churn those out. If they did that, they would be able to focus on the Expanse, the Odyssey, the Endeavor, the Hull D, the B, and the E. So there's quite a few MISC ships that need to be worked on. Hippie Nation 86, thank you for that follow. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the follows, everyone. So they could switch back to it. And in terms of the gameplay not all being there for the Endeavor, the only thing they'd have to do for that is maybe just choose one module set. And the first Endeavor that comes online comes with just those modules. Like maybe it's the medical module. So the medical variant of the Endeavor releases as flight ready, and then they just hold off on the other models or modules for a while. So that's one way they could do it. I don't think they're going to do it that way, but it is one path forward. By the way, everyone, do not forget, if you're on Twitch and you are interested in this poster, all you got to do is do exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket and then a space max. That will buy you tickets to win this Star Jump Fleet Viewer poster celebrating IAE 2953. If you are Ender says, Graham, I got to go from here, but please hit me up when you finish streaming. Yep, will do. If you're on YouTube and interested in winning this poster, all you got to do is go to the at the very top of the chat in YouTube. You'll see a link pinned up there to my stream from yesterday. All you got to do is click on that, go to that video, leave a comment. It can be anything. You can say one word. You can just say hi, and I'll pull all those comments, and we will do the giveaway that way. All right, and we're trying, and and YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, YouTube. This will be the first time I'm attempting this type of giveaway through YouTube with the system I have for pulling comments. If it doesn't work, I'll just go to that video and pull a random name. I'm just going to pull a random name manually. Okay. And which I know is not a great way to do it, but I'll kind of won't have any choice. Hopefully the YouTube comments thing works though, and there's no issues. So, all right. Let's see here. Feather says with 3 ship teams, they could build out 3 manufacturers at once in theory. It's possible. I don't know if we have enough information, Feathers, on how those ship teams work on ships. The progress tracker shows a ship solely staying with 1 ship. I'm assuming that's how it works, but it's possible they switch that up. Like maybe 1 ship team is on a ship for a while and it switches to another one sometimes and then back to the other. I don't know how flexible they get with that. Especially if an artist on a ship team gets sick or goes on paternity leave or maternity leave or whatever. There's a lot of reasons that ship teams could get affected that, again, I don't know. They've never really explained that, but yeah, they could definitely do that. Let's see here. What else? Any other, does the Galaxy look out of place for an RSI industrial ship after looking at the Arastra? So I think it's more that the Galaxy isn't an industrial ship to me. The Galaxy is a utility ship. So that's the way I look at it. Specifically because of its modularity, it can be a medical ship, it can be an industrial ship, it can be a cargo ship. So I look at that more as utility. That's sort of what I classify it as, where the Arastra is pure industrial. For Sirius says, question, Graham, do you have the rework concept models of the Vandal ships as well? If yes, can you put them beside the old models? I do not, Pro Sirius. They are keeping those very close to the vest. I do not have them. If I did, I'd be pretty certain that CIG would tell me to not show them. I was contacted with Fleet Viewer. I was contacted by CIG. There was some concerns originally regarding showing off the Pegasus and the Retribution and stuff like that. I told them I would remove them if they desired. They said that after considerable thought, they wanted me to keep them on the site because they just thought it was really cool and they saw how much the community was enjoying them. So, once again, big giant thanks to CIG for allowing me to keep that stuff on Fleet Viewer. I try to respect CIG's wishes with Fleet Viewer. We generally don't put ships in Fleet Viewer until the day they go flight ready, or sorry, not flight ready, until the day they're officially revealed by CIG. So tomorrow, when the Syulen goes on sale, we'll try to get the Syulen into Fleet Viewer tomorrow. Let's see here. Ad Wickenkamp says, my org is up in arms about how the Galaxy is somehow pointless because this other ship refines, but it's a Swiss Army knife, jack of all trade ship. Yeah, exactly. I think the same thing. I mean, what you're getting in the Galaxy is not just refining. You're getting flexibility in terms of its role. That's why you would choose the Galaxy over the Arastra. If you're a single-minded person, and I don't mean single-minded as an insult, but single-minded in that I only want to do refining or I only want to do mining/refining, then you probably should be going for the Arastra, because it'll be more suited for that. It seems like it's got more features built around that. Prosera says, thank you, Informed Grandma. I was thinking this is the case with this highly anticipated ships. Do you do well that you respect CIG in this matter? Yeah, Prosera, I mean, I respect the work that the CIG ship teams are doing. They're working incredibly hard. I mean, when I was working on Fleet Viewer, and I'm sure VMXEO can attest to this, a lot of people complain about the ships they haven't released, like the backlog, but sometimes you have to look at all the ships they have released, and it's an incredible amount. They have a lot of ships, and what they've been able to turn out, keeping the quality level so high. That's not to say they haven't had a few misses here and there, or maybe some design choices that were questionable especially on some of the older ships that went flight ready. But in general, they do absolutely stellar work. I respect their work as a professional in the film and television industry. I work in visual effects for film and television. I like when people respect my work, so I respect their work. So I try to do nothing. I don't try to do anything that would ruffle feathers with CIG. Again, I want this project to succeed. I am a cheerleader for it. So I'm going to play ball and make sure I present everything in a light that doesn't piss anyone off. Adwicken says, on that note, are they going to be selling modules next week? I assume you mean for the Galaxy. I don't know. I hope so. I hope we get the manufacturing module for sale. I would definitely buy it. Agent 1213, is the 3D interior of the Odyssey CIG showed available for viewing? No, only in that video. The interior white box stuff is something they generally keep pretty close to the vest as well. I personally wish I had the white box interior build of the Kraken, but it's not available. I mean, I could probably build it out myself, but it's an incredible amount of work for, not much benefit. VG says Arastra likely a small to medium crew in-game miner. I can see it crewed comfortably with one pilot, two miners, one rock miner, one engineer. Yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see the crew count on this thing too. Again, generally they've been leaning towards ships with smaller crew counts when they get larger like this. So, Artemis TGM says, wasn't there a Kraken at Area 18? There was a Kraken on Lorville one time for an IAE keynote presentation. I think it was the 2018 keynote when Chris Robert was on stage. They were actually showing off the new redone Mustang. And they were showing off the Mustang, and they were showing off Lorville for this first time. And when they took the Mustang off, this was like in game. When they took the Mustang off and came out of the hangar, the Kraken was sitting parked right there on like an open air platform. It was awesome. It had a cuddy on one of the decks, and I think a Buccaneer on one of the smaller pads. Okay. How about we get to our giveaways? Should we get to the giveaways? Really, everyone, I'm going to say it again. If you have not followed the channel, please give the channel a follow. I really appreciate it. It's a small click for you, but it's a real big deal for me and for Star Jump. If you're on, if you might, sorry, I just had a message come in. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. That helps out a lot too. Again, it just really, really helps. We are going to switch over to a couple things here. Kyle, thank you for that follow. All right, let's see here. I'm going to bring some tabs over. Okay, so first we're going to Zombie428. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate the follows. You are all rock stars. Would love 10 more follows. 10 more follows come in. I'm going to be jumping up and down. Okay. What we're going to do here, though, is we're going to get ready to close these giveaways. Remember, everyone, this is for the IAE 2953 poster, right? You see right here. Now, if on Twitch, if I'm gonna end the Twitch one first, okay? If you win the poster on Twitch, you are going to DM me your address, your mailing address, okay? If you let's see, yes, if you are on YouTube, I am going to if you're on YouTube, I'm going to get you to join the Discord, or so that you're going to DM me on Discord, okay? Because I think that's about the only way I can do it safely. So that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it. Ozil Tech, if you're on YouTube and you want to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is click on the link that's pinned to the top of chat. It'll take you to another video. You just open that in a separate window. In that video, leave a comment. All you got to do is leave a comment. You can just be one word. It can be hi, whatever. And I'll pull all the comments and pull a random one using my random comment grabber. Okay. So on YouTube, you have to do it by leaving a comment on that pinned video in the chat. And on Twitch, you just do exclamation ticket. Sorry, it's different. I wish I could do it all in one system, but they don't let me do that. Okay. So I'm closing the giveaway for Twitch now. We'll do the Twitch one first, and then we will do the, and by the way, if you don't have enough ticket points, you can just follow the channel and you'll get some ticket points, I believe, for doing that. Hopefully that works. Why don't we do the YouTube one now, since we're getting some Twitch follows come in. Everyone, I appreciate those Twitch follows. You are all amazing. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Let's switch over to the YouTube one first, because this one takes a second for me to get going. I'm going to switch over to my, where is it? This one? This one? Nope. This one? There we go. I'm going to switch over to this real quick. Okay. Let me grab the YouTube link that is pinned. We're going to get this party started. Okay, just a second. All right, I'm grabbing the link. And here's how this is going to work. I put the link in here. Oh, there we go. There we go. What do we just have come in? Question: do you think they had a large ship for the refueling? Possible, Hippie Nation. Very possible. I'm not sure on that, but I think there's a need for it. Visner91, thank you for that subscribe. I really appreciate it. You're amazing. What's cooking? Thank you for that subscribe as well. Okay, so we got our link in there. I'm going to filter duplicate things. We're going to filter comments by date. Let's go ahead and set today and today, and number of winners 1, show animation. We'll do a 10-second spin. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube thing now, everyone. Hopefully you got your comments in on the YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, you get a few more minutes to do that. Follow the channel, please. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to go ahead and get our YouTube comments. Okay, it didn't work. Let's see why it didn't work. Stand. It's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, everyone. Stand by. Okay. You know what? Let's just kill the date thing. Let's see if that does it. Let's see here. This is the calling code file. Please refresh. Okay, I might have to refresh the page. Let's try that. Okay, filter duplicate names. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to pull a random name from YouTube. Okay, so it pulled them. Okay, so it pulled them. Get YouTube comments. So we're going to start the raffle. There we go. Winner is Jeremiah Wilkins. Jeremiah, congratulations on YouTube. Let's see here. I'm going to Jeremiah Wilkins, congratulations. Are you in chat, Jeremiah? Jeremiah on YouTube, let me know if you are there, sir. Jeremiah Wilkins, rigged. Jeremiah Wilkins, if you are in chat, all you need to do is go on to Discord. You can use our Discord link if you haven't yet, which is just a second. Actually, 1 second. Okay, wait a minute. Bear with me. Bear with me, everybody. Okay. All right, Jeremiah, welcome. So all you have to do is DM me on Discord or get in contact with me via Twitter. Jeremiah Wilkins. I'll get together with you on that. I'll get together with you on that. Could have been an older comment. Let's see it. Should we draw again? Jeremiah, have you messaged? I don't think he's messaged, right? We'll draw again. We're going to draw again. All right, we're going to go back. We're going to draw again. Okay, here we go. Let's pick another winner. Looks like a comment one day ago. Okay, you know what? Let me try this again. Raygun, thank you for the follow. Let me do this by the date thing here. Let's do today. That'll at least limit it to today, which would be helpful. Okay. Let me get YouTube comments again. Amount of unique comments, 0. Well, that didn't work. Okay, I guess I can't do by date. We're just going to go until someone... oh, do I have to refresh the page? All right, let's try it again here. It's my first time using this, everyone, so bear with me. Let's see if it can do the date thing after refreshing. It's still pulling 0. Okay, so we're going to kill the day. We'll just try it and see if we get someone who's on right now. Oh, end date for tomorrow. Gotcha. Okay, let's try that. Sorry. Thank you, everyone. Okay, that worked. Thank you, whoever said that. Bad mofo, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's do that. Congrats to anyone. You know what? We're gonna do the we're gonna do a spin wheel, and we're gonna do it for 8 seconds here. Okay, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Lobster Mac. Lobster Mac, are you in chat? Lobster Mac, are you in chat? Paging Lobster Mac. Paging Lobster. There's Lobster Mac. Hey, Lobster Mac. Congratulations. You won. Star Jump Fleet Viewer 2953 IAE poster. Congratulations. Lobster Mac won. So Lobster Mac, here's how we're going to do this. Stand by, everyone. Let me switch back to my other screen here. Just a minute. I hope you're well. So Lobster Mac, I see your email right here. I have it. I'm going to contact you on your email, okay? I'll contact you via your email and we'll get you set up, okay? I'll get your mailing address and we'll get you all set up, okay? Does that sound good? Okay, cool. All right. Now, we are going to, I'm assuming the email connected to your stuff is correct, so I'm going to go through there. If not, you can always contact me on Discord. It's starjump_grim, but I am going to contact you via the email I see on there. Okay. For the next one, Starjump Fleet Viewer poster on Twitch. About to close this giveaway. We have 51 entrants, 238 tickets purchased. I want to thank everyone for all the follows tonight. You're amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Oh man, if I could get 3 more follows, that would be legendary. I'll get to an even number. That would make me so happy. All right, here we go. We're going to close the giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we are going to draw a winner now. Cindy Senderson. Cindy, I know you're in chat. Oh, SCG, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Cindy, are you still here? There you go. Cindy. All right, Cindy, I am sending you a DM that says congrats. All you got to do is send me your mailing address. Great job, Lobster Mac and Cindy Cinderson. You are both winners of the Star Jump Fleet Viewer IAE 2953 poster. I will be doing 2 more of these giveaways halfway through IAE, and another giveaway of these at the end of IAE. So there's still other opportunities to win this poster. After this IAE, though, I will not be making this poster anymore. SCG, thank you for that subscription. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the follows tonight. You all are serious, legendary people. Again, thank you so much. I really can't tell you how awesome it is to have such a great community supporting me, supporting Star Jump, supporting what we do. Again, we're not regular people out there, but we do try to make interesting content, you know, and our shows on YouTube with Shipyard and all that good stuff, with our tools that create Star Jump Fleet Viewer. Again, go to Star Jump Fleet Viewer and Hangar.link if you haven't. They're great tools, especially in an IE type event like this. And then, of course, just interacting with this awesome community. So yeah, that's going to be about it. Once again, thank you for the follows. I really can't appreciate it. I tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you for the subscribes on YouTube. We get a few subscriptions as well. You're all amazing. So real quick here, let's do this. Obviously on YouTube, I can't do much, but we can look at who we got on the old. Let's see here. Who do we got? Who do we got? You know what? I know what we're going to do. I know what we're going to do here on the old Twitchster. We are going to we're going to raid someone who's definitely in our chat from time to time, and we're going to send them a little Star Jump love. I hope you all will get over there, give them a little Star Jump love, give them some follows, tell them hello from the Star Jump crew. Everyone, you're legendary. I'll be contacting you, Lobster Mac and Cindy Cinderson. Thank you for your address. Be getting those posters out to you. They'll probably be processed in like a week or so. Actually, probably closer to end of IAE is when those posters will be processed. Thanks, everyone. It's been awesome. We're going to send everyone over to, on Twitch at least, we're going to send you over to Smithy Joe Bob. He's been in our chat before. I want you to give him a big old round of Star Jump love. Tell him, hey, have a good time over there. Give him a follow. We'll talk to you all soon. Grim out.